Hello there gamers, it is Scary Spice, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make a super cool Minecraft skin. The first thing I'm going to do is navigate to my browser, and I have no idea how that got there, but you're going to want to search Planet Minecraft in your search bar and click the first link that comes up. Planet Minecraft is a really great resource for anyone who loves Minecraft. There are tons of different features on the website, and it's all made by community members, and it's really cool to look around if you have some spare time. But today we are going to be talking about the skins section of the website. The first thing you'll see are skins that different creators have posted for people to download or browse. And these are really cool to look around just to get some ideas for the kind of skin that you want to make, and you can sort these skins by different filters at the top. You can also search for a specific character or type of skin, like I can search for Daria, and I can see the ones that people have made and posted, and if there's one I really like let's say I like this one, I can look at it and browse, and I can download it and use it as my own skin by clicking the download button and then uploading it to my skins tab on my Minecraft launcher. If you're making your own skin, you're going to want to click on the Minecraft skin editor. It's called PMC Skin 3D. And this is just the editor that I like to use, but some people also use Photoshop or other programs. So what we start with is a blank slate, and this is the Steve model, which is different than the Alex model only because it has bigger arms. So if you want a skin with smaller arms, you can choose the Alex model instead of the Steve model. If you want to change the model, just go to File, New Skin, and then use the drop-down menu to select it. And you can also choose the base color. For this example, I decided to go with sort of a light seafoam green. Before we get started here, I thought it would be helpful to go over some of the basic tools that you'll find on the skin editor. So in this top corner, there's a 3D view, a 2D view, and a combination view, which you can use at your own discretion. I like to use the 3D view personally because it helps me kind of see the bigger picture. So right now we're in creative mode, and that means that this is sort of the studio for designing the skin. There's all sorts of different brush tools and lots of buttons that I don't know what they actually do because the skins that I make are pretty simple. There's an eraser tool, there's a color picker tool which will help you color match something. So if you used a color on your skin and you want to use it somewhere else, you can use that. There are also different kinds of brushes, like a paint bucket will cover a large surface. There's a triangle, which is a triangle, pretty self-explanatory. There's a circle, which is more of a plus sign, and then there's a big square, but I mostly use the small pixel brush. There's also a mirror tool, so if you want to copy a pattern from one side onto the other side of your skin, that can be really helpful. I don't know what that one does. And then the part visibility is also visible on the other side, but it's just so you can hide certain parts and access different angles. So this little square cube, I guess it's called a cube, will help you see if you're on the front or the back of your skin. I've done this before where I've made a face on the back, which is not what I had intended, but if you want to do that, that's cool. But it just helps to know where things are orientated. So over here is what I use for the part visibility, but you can also access it on the other side. You just click the limbs and then they disappear temporarily so that you can access other parts or other sides of a certain area that you want to cover with paint. So I'm going to hide the body for now to show you this other feature, which is, it looks like armor, but really it's just another layer to your skin, and it'll stay on when you put on armor in the game. But it's a really cool tool to add depth to your skin because the grid is slightly different than on the regular body of the character. This other mode is the pose model mode, I guess is what it's called. but I mostly use it for just seeing if I've covered all my bases and to make sure there's no awkward places on the skin, so when my character's moving it looks okay. If you want to make your own palette of colors for your skin, you can go over to Create New Palette and you can add the different colors that you've been using. This is helpful so you can refer back to them if you want to use them later. I just thought I would reiterate that searching for inspiration is really, really helpful in making your own skin. Here is the Marceline skin that I used for a while. I don't remember who made it, but I kind of applied the same principles to my own skin, and I also used this Sailor Moon skin for inspiration for the outfit that I normally have on my skin, so that can be really beneficial to look at other skins that people have made. So where I usually like to start is the head of the character, just because I think it's the easiest and it's probably the most important. So I usually like to hide all the other limbs so I can just focus on the head. And you can also turn on and off the grid. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but that can be kind of helpful to see what it will actually look like. So I'm gonna start here. I usually start with the base layer and worry about the other layer later, but this is just sort of a basic face that I usually make. It's the one that I have on my skin currently, and you can play around with different eyes and mouths if you want to, and choose the one that you like the best, but this is just the one that I prefer. It's pretty simple, but I think it looks really cute, so that's basically how I do that. And I think I made the eyes too high, actually. Yeah, so I readjusted them here, but they look good the other way too, so whatever you prefer is good. But it's, again, this technique of using the top layer to hide some of the parts of the lower layer and kind of make it look more refined. So once I have the face, I think I'm adding some blush here because I think it looks cute. I think I changed it later to a different color because it was a little too much, but so I'm starting with the hair, and usually I like a good bang in the front because it looks nice in the pixelated format. And there's some ears. I did some little curly bits on the side as well. And you can really just play around with the hair and see what you like. Usually I start with a darker base color, and then on the second layer I'll go over it with a lighter color. And I find it helpful to move the tools. So you start with the same color and then move them slightly to darker or lighter, and then you can change the opacity also. And you can use that to layer on top of your base color. So I really just experimented. I didn't have a huge plan for this when I first started the skin, but it sort of evolved into a mermaid kind of character. And I put a part in the hair, which I thought was kind of a cool idea, which you can also do on your own skin if you think it looks cool. Because sometimes it's hard to know what to do with the top part of the head. So here I'm trying to add more shading and depth, and you really just want to play around with this. I always check and make sure that the grid, like without the grid, the character looks okay, because sometimes with the grid it gives you some grace and you're not sure how it actually looks without it. But for the hair, I usually continue it on sort of the chest portion of the body just to make it look a little bit longer. You can make the hair whatever length you want. I usually think it looks good if there's some pieces in the front also, but that's just what I prefer to do. If I may be so bold, I think I'll say a little more about shading. So this is basic art theory or something, but dark colors recede and light colors stand out. So just keep this in mind. If you're trying to do some shading, use lighter colors to bring things out, and then use darker colors for shadows and things like that, and it'll make your skin look a little more realistic. So I think here I was trying to make a bikini sort of top because I was keeping with the mermaid theme, and I used this mauve color, which I ended up not liking, but I change it later in the video. But really with clothing, I find it's best to sort of try and tie in the colors with the coloring of the face or of the hair just to make it complementary. So here I am making a mermaid tail, and I just made some scales out of this little pixel design I decided to do. Another important thing to consider is to cover all your bases. Make sure that you have everything colored on all sides so it doesn't look awkward when your character walks around. And I think the rest of this is pretty self-explanatory. I really just recommend experimenting and just changing things up if you feel like it. I think later on in the time lapse I changed the color of the skin because I didn't like it as much. And here I'm making a tail just out of a triangle, just improvising, because skins kind of look like they're wearing pants, so I had to adjust and make it look like a tail. But yeah, I mean, I really think if you just put in the work and just keep going with the shading, the more time you put into your skin, the better it's gonna look. And don't be afraid to add little details. Like here I'm adding some kind of pearl jewelry because I thought it looked good with the mermaid thing, and I made her eyes a different color too. I made them kind of spookier and light blue because I thought that looked cool. So put your own spin on it and be creative, and most importantly, have fun. Okay, I'm not really sure why. I think it's the eyes, but she kind of looks like the chick from Atlantis. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but anyway. So once you're happy with the way that your skin looks, you can either go ahead and publish to Planet Minecraft, or you can go to File and Save File, and that will download it to your computer. And then you can go to your Minecraft launcher, click on the Skins tab, click on New Skin, and then you can name it something and click the model that it is, either Alex or Steve. I think they call it Classic or Slim. And then you can browse for the file and select it and open it. And then you can go ahead and use that as your skin. So you might notice that I have a lot of skins that are the same, but they have different outfits, which I just think is fun to change them out and just have fun with that. So if you want to do something similar, a good tip is to erase the parts that you want to change in the future of your skin and you end up with sort of a base skin. Then save that as a file, even though some parts of it are transparent. Then name it something like base or template or something like that. And then you can go ahead and select that, go to open file, and you can select your base, and that makes it a lot easier if you're trying to make the same character but with a different outfit. So that's about all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe. I worked really hard on this video, and so if you liked it, give it a like, and goodbye!